After watching a few games of the NBA Finals, it's pretty clear most of us forgot about a really big factor. The Heat are a lot older than the Thunder. And I mean that in a good way. LeBron with that foul thing, that was so old man. It was hard not to get hypnotized by all that young Oklahoma City talent. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, all under 23 years old. And in game one, they styled on the Heat as young boys tend to. The Heat just couldn't keep up with the fresh legs and the youthful energy. The Heat are not champions, right? They've yet to win any championship, but they still been in the league a long time. So they did what old heads do when that happens. They stopped trying to keep up. They're like, look, we might put up with some of this off of Jason Terry and Deshaun Stevenson, but we ain't about to be putting up with this shit from James Harden. Oh yeah, old heads always hit the court with delusions of grandeur about how they can keep up with the young boys. They can show them they still got it. Then they wind up getting behind. Then they get mad. Next thing you know, someone's gonna catch a shoulder in the bird-like chest.
Bird chest. Is it just a skinny chest, or does it also have to have that little going?
I've always wondered that. Which basically is how the NBA Finals have gone. You saw game one, then you saw games 2 and 3. LeBron sneaking a foul in to win game 2. He didn't even affect Durant's shot that much. Nobody want to talk about that. He didn't really affect Durant's shot that much. He just had his arm right there, just a hassle, then tricking Kevin Durant into all those fouls in game 3. You learn tricks for being in the league a long time. You look at this. The Thunder out here getting tricked. LeBron out there muscling folks. D-Wade's even changing his game up from spades to bid whist. I don't know how to play bid whist because they don't teach you how to play bid whist till you reach a certain age. You play spades? So you understand what I'm saying about this thing with D-Wade. D-Wade is the guy that is like throwing a jack out there on the table, and then next thing you know, you look around and you're like, wait a minute, how did that jack win the book? That's what these little flip shots and all these, all this stuff like that, he just style, I'm gonna throw this 10 out there and watch it walk. And then next thing you know, it walks. And you're like, oh, and yes, Miami is a bunch of old heads. LeBron James, 9 years. Dwayne Wade, 9 years. Chris Bosh, 9 years. Battier, Miller, Haslam, older than that. Juwan Howard, ready for the call. No wonder they talk to Mario Chalmers like that. Shane Battier, just standing in the corner shooting threes. Don't get much more old man than that. He's just like, yo, I'm not missing any shots. He did a halftime interview. He did the halftime interview with Doris Burke. Only old heads the Thunder have are Derek Fisher, who's not that good. There's no reason for Derek Fisher to do anything involving ankle support. And Kendrick Perkins, who is neither that good nor that old. He's the same age as LeBron James after all. That's what I bet Derek Fisher does on the team. But every time he messes up at something, he just comes to the bench and starts talking some old shit. This is what you don't understand. It's moments like those that make you champion. I was sent here to teach y'all some lessons. The time when champions overcome is when one of their players has a plus-minus of -14. And they just walk away. That's what I be doing. Tell them anything. So what's the Thunder gonna do? They can still win, but all of us know you don't overcome old man game overnight. It's one thing getting past the Mavs and the Lakers, but their old men can barely dunk anymore. It's an entirely different level of physical and psychological warfare against Miami. Udonis Haslem, he not only is old, but he has established that he's willing to take one of you whippersnappers out just to prove a point. And Juwan Howard, he's shown that he will go talk to a little whippersnapper. Boy, didn't nobody teach you none of this stuff before? You ain't got no home trainer. The series isn't done, but know this. It's the Thunder, not the Heat, that's fighting Father Time. And Father Time doesn't lose very often. But then the next play, D-Wade comes down the floor and just take off on one leg, one of those Euro steps like he did Verjo that one time. He Euro stepped on him and banged on him. And then the dude hits the ground, and I know exactly what Verjo was thinking. You just played a jack. Like if you had this ace in your hand the whole time. And Wade, he stays reneging also. He is a big fan of reneging. He's all about them little shady things like it's the last play of the game and it's a big deal. You need that shot. He ain't trying to make it. He's trying to trick you into jumping up and then elbowing you and putting up a little flip shot. They should take 3 books from him every time, and sometimes that's what the refs do. They just get him for 3 books. They're like, no, man, we ain't calling this. We're not calling this. This is going back the other way. 3 books. He's like, he does that stuff and the refs call the foul and you mad. And he's like, well, call which book? Call which book? Because you know you can't call which book.
But do you also try to cheat a lot?
No, I don't cheat.
Okay.
But it's good to have a friend who does.